Hello and welcome. This is Kyle McGregor here, Elite Marketing Director with TPS, The Perfect Solution, and the founder of VIP Global. Really what we're here to do here on these Sunday afternoon calls or Sunday evening calls, depending on where you are in the world. We have people all from out of the world in Australia and England and all over the United States, places that we're growing and that we can't even really see the growth happening as fast as it is growing right now, which is pretty exciting to see the type of growth that we've seen, at least within TPS. TPS is now, we're approaching almost 2 million members already in less than 2 years. And those are groundbreaking numbers. So we have an opportunity, really beautiful opportunity here in front of us today that we can financially benefit from the rise of the industry of e-commerce. And that's the key element here, is making sure that you align yourself with a platform, with a company that is in its right nature, that's going to help the average person win, but also gives you the means to be able to have, the right types of tools and resources for you to win with. So to this point, we've seen some great things happening with TPS. We're excited to have, the company owners be able to help them, help us with participating within the platform here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple of announcements just at the beginning here so you can get up to date with things, as well as recognize a few people. I'm going to bring on our trainer for this afternoon, Mr. Anthony LeBlanc. We're very blessed to have him aboard here, and he's shaking and moving with this team and organization of real amazing leaders. But let me do this. I'm going to go through a couple of these announcements. First and foremost, make sure that everybody's getting in their retail orders in on their websites. Those retail sales are going to help you bring more revenues to your profits of generating income, And so make sure that you have those. Just recently, they talked about the shift in a couple of aspects of the compensation structure. At the beginning stages here, meaning the first 2 to 3 years, those are really the beginning stages, and they're making sure they need to tweak out what they need to in order for the comp plan to be fair for people, for it to be advantageous and lucrative for people. So they're finding kind of a balance at this point here. Okay, so right now, they just got a notification yesterday that if you're a paid member and you bought a product kit one-time purchase, the retail orders, that all you need is a total of $25 retail orders to participate in the daily sales bonus pool, which is great, which is what it was previously. Now, for the free, you need to have at least $100 retail orders to also, again, participate in that same part of the compensation structure, all right? So that is the first part. So making sure that you get your retail orders in from your TPS 138 site. We're now the 19th of the month. So don't count on some of the other ones like OneDirect and Incentivize. They suggest you get those retail orders in previous to the 15th of every month. So if you need to kind of get the sales in now, then you want to make sure you take care of them on the TPS site. That way you're a little more guaranteed to experience the results there, okay? We also have a new getting started right call for all of our new store owners. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. Maybe it's the first time you're hearing about it. We've been doing it the last few weeks. People have been loving it and really jumping on there to help them learn what it takes to really get their business started off on the right foot. And again, it's the same call you're on here today, uberconference.com/VIP Global, or you can call in at 949-245-2883. Again, we have a new call, and that's why you're here at noon Pacific Standard Time, that you'll be able to jump on our new VIP Global Conference and training call. Same location to get on there with our Uber Conference and the same number. Now, due to our global expansion and a lot of people coming aboard, we want to make sure that we give everybody the opportunity to jump on here on these calls. So that's why we're doing it on Sundays. Not everybody has to work on Sundays. And we get also the opportunity for people around the world to tap into these calls, okay? So any type of adjustments that have happened within the compensation structure, you guys can go check that out in the back office. Make sure you go to TPS138.com, go ahead and log in the top right. And once you log in, you'll be able to see the different adjustments and things that have happened within the compensation structure that you'll be caught up to date on. Just to kind of hit one or two of those, we have, for example, our weekly team sales bonus effective April 1st. That you need to be a Diamond member and a Master Store owner to participate in the team sales bonus starting April 1st. So make sure you get $100 of retail orders this month if you plan on hitting MSO this month, because if you're a Diamond member, you'll be able to also participate in the team sales bonus, which is fantastic, giving it more accessible to many of the others that are coming up through the ranks. Also, our monthly team sales residual plan. You need to be a Diamond member. That's kind of like the common denominator is getting to a Diamond, right? But also, you can be a master store builder and participate in that as well, as long as you have $100 of retail cumulative orders the previous month. So if you wanted to qualify for the month of April, make sure you get at least $100 of retail orders in this month. So that's pretty exciting. So those couple of new announcements that they just put out there. So that being said, I'm going to recognize a few people here. And let me also, just before I get there, April 1st, if you've not yet registered, it's a free registration. It costs you nothing to attend. They're giving away watches and things of that nature. My understanding, talking to Gary, they're not doing the MSB and the SMD bonuses this coming event, just because there's so many people that are hitting that, and so many people that are rank advancing that fast that right now, I mean, that's coming straight out of Mr. Regeer's pocket, and so he's not being compensated by the company in any way. So he just wanted to reward people in the market that are building, but it's growing in such leaps and bounds that it just wasn't making sense at this point. But it's a free event, so that's the great part. I used to come to business events like that and literally spend $150. And again, this is a free event. They give away, gifts and prizes and even cash they're giving away just for people to attend through our raffle. It's pretty exciting when we do that because people get rewarded just by attending and focusing on their business. So that's going to be a great experience. So make sure you attend. To go to TPSevent.com, TPSEVENT.com, and register for free and bring as many guests as you can to be able to benefit from that. Let me go into real quick a few recognition pieces, and we'll get some solid content here, some solid training for you to learn from. I think it's important that we all, this is a part of the system, just so you understand, being on this call on a weekly basis. Just think about this. If you treat your business like a job, if you're consistent, you show up every week. Think about this. You show up to every week at a job if you're employed. Why? Well, because you'd probably be fired or downsized or, pay cut or whatnot. You're required to do certain things at a job to be compensated for being there. Well, if you have the same type of mentality for your business, you can win here, okay? It's just being consistent and persistent and being disciplined in your actions. So there's a few certain things you want to make sure that you do throughout the week that are what we call money-making activities. So your daily method of operation, you should be doing at least something every day to help grow and build your business. So just remember that you want to make sure that you show up every day to help your business grow so you can win. All right? But that being said, I want to make sure that people get recognized where recognition's due. And there's a lot of people that have been doing some great things. I know Mr. Rudy Salaya and his team have been blowing up right now. He's sprinting to get to a senior marketing director position. I believe he's on the cusp of doing so. But the only reason he can actually do that is because he's helping other people. He has his mind focused on helping them win, helping them financially benefit, helping them get a bigger paycheck. I mean, and this is the philosophy here. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. Having the right type of mentality, the right type of philosophy is really what's going to help you achieve success in your business. So again, there's a few people that have upgraded, and I think even one or two that have rank advanced. But I want to congratulate Virginia Harris for upgrading to a bronze. Miss Anita Strode for congratulations to a bronze as well. Teresa Dershid, congratulations to a bronze membership. Mr. Billy Jury, congrats hitting the gold this last week. We've got Ariana Tirado, she's a bronze member now. Congratulations. What a great picture there. Maritza Bahena. Congratulations, Maritza, for coming to a bronze. Sandra Camacho, not just upgrading to a bronze, but also to a diamond membership. I want to congratulate Sandra for doing that. And also, her father, Hugo Camacho, also achieved that diamond membership as well. Very excited to have them coming aboard. And in doing so, if you help other people win, you will win here. We've got Ms. Viviana Lopez, that is not only a diamond member currently, she's rank advanced by helping 3 other people upgrade by buying a product kit, one-time purchase, and she now has become what's called a master store owner, our building block of what we have here. Miss Carla Velasco, congratulations for a bronze membership. Juan Perez, congratulations to be a bronze. Julie Castillo, congratulations for upgrading to bronze. Robert Carrido, also congratulations for upgrading to bronze. Mr. Carlos Velasco, congratulations upgrading to a bronze. And there's just so much excitement that's happening within TPS, especially within our organization of VIP Global. And we're so blessed and excited to have everybody here on this call participating and attending. Now, I have an honor and privilege to bring on a gentleman that's really shaking and moving. He really, I believe he's a leader of leaders. He knows how to support his team. He knows how to lead from the front, but also he knows how to show what leadership is by doing what I do, not what I say. And that being said, I'm so excited to have our Senior Marketing Director, soon to be Elite Marketing Director with TPS, Mr. Anthony LeBlanc. Are you on the line here with us, sir?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. And what's so great about this, my friends, is Anthony, not only has he been the industry for a couple of decades, but he knows ins and outs of what it takes to win within this type of a model. So we're very fortunate, blessed to have him a part of our organization, part of the leadership team that we have to really learn from, and one of the best coaches I've ever met. And so today we're going to be chatting a little bit about one of the most important things that you can learn how to do is contacting and really connecting with people and have a way to have them become open to what's possible for them in their lives. Mr. LeBlanc, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Kyle. I want to thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and allowing me to be able to help with anything that we need helping with in this unique and great, awesome environment of VIP Global. I just love everybody that we work with. It's a true family, and I enjoy. It's crazy that, you're in something where you never have to fight with anybody. And I've been in those type of companies before where, everything's a fight. Everything's a challenge. Everything's a competition. And here it's so different. It's a complete 180-degree turn from what I was used to. And just being able to work together with you and Rudy and Shane and Philip and everyone else that's part of this TPS family, I just really appreciate that. I'm humbled to be one of the trainers and that people are willing to listen to some of the information that I have to give out. With that being said, again, thanks for having me on, Kyle. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the invitation process. We're not going to go into all the details. We're going to leave room for that on Wednesday, because on Wednesday we'll go into detailed scripts and different things of that nature. But when it comes to inviting, I have a Saturday meeting every Saturday, and we do different things. And in fact, we actually just touched on this yesterday, and so it's crazy because I was talking about my elevator speech yesterday a little bit, which I'll get into. And sure enough, when we got on the elevator to leave our meeting, it was actually Sue. She said, "Quick, give me your elevator speech." And I just laughed at her. And I said, I gotta be, it's not like I can just turn it on with anyone. It's like I gotta be in the heat of the moment when I hit it. So I didn't really say anything. But then when we got down to the bottom floor, a young man was coming in, and that's when I hit it. It's like intuition. Here's somebody that could potentially be a part of my business, and now lights, camera, action, I'm on and I'm ready to go. And so you have to get to that point where it's not so much scripted, it's not so much you being stiff and trying to mechanically do or say something to get people. It's got to come natural. And so that's kind of what we want to talk about and encourage everyone on the call to get to a point where they're so natural that it's just second nature. When you come, I hit the elevator and I saw the guy. First thing I did was compliment him. "Hey, you look really sharp. My company is expanding into this area, and we're looking for sharp individuals like you. Do you mind if I send you my contact information?" He said yes. He gave me his contact information so I could send him my contact information. It was as quick as that, okay? So let's step back, because that's really cold market. Let's talk about, and Kyle, if you have anything to throw in here, just feel free to jump on in. If you have any questions or what have you, just feel free to do that. So the first thing for a brand new person, you really want to stick with your warm market before you try to go out and do any cold market type of an invitation. I mean, if you want to go out and practice a little bit, that's okay, but I would highly recommend that you stick with your warm market. And so what do I mean by your warm market? Your warm market are the individuals that you know by name, or you know by sight, or you know in some form. You may not have the best relationship with, they may not even be your best friend, but there's some sort of association that you have. Maybe you see this person every day at the gym. Maybe you see your post office or your postman deliver your post or your mail every single day. Maybe it's people that you see at your work that you actually know, maybe some you don't know. Maybe it's people you see at the grocery store, the cleaners, wherever you're out and about. There's people everywhere that you're at. So don't give me the, I don't have any people, I don't know any people. It's just sometimes we have to jog our memory to find out who it is we actually know. But let's start with your warm market. Every company talks about putting a list together of warm market individuals, and that could be a list. I've heard companies say 25. I've heard companies say 100, 1,000. In my last company, they said 100, and I actually put together a list of 1,000. Now, I have over 1,000 people in my telephone that I personally know, and it was a big difference to me when I actually put those people on paper with a pen. Because in my phone, I might only be able to look at all the individuals in the A category with the last name of A, and I can't remember who I need to talk to that's in the Z or N or W category. When I actually put it on paper, I was able to thumb through really quick to find the names that I wanted, because this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to put a list of 100 people minimum together, and you're going to want that list to continue to grow. Okay, out of that 100 name list, you want to narrow it down to your top 25, and even down further to maybe your top 5. Your top 5 are going to be the individuals that would rescue you in your time of need. You're out on the road at 3 a.m., you have a flat tire. Who are you going to call to come help you at that time of morning with your flat tire? And I know most of you are probably saying AAA. But forget AAA. They don't exist, and you got to call a friend. Those are the top 5 people that you want to contact in this business. It only takes 3 to make it happen for you in this business. Most people think they got to do, all this recruiting or all this sponsoring on their own. It's basically you find your 3, which it may take 5 to find 3. And then we help those 3 to find their 5 that become 3, and so on and so forth. And the process will elevate you from where you are at the start to maybe your mid-range goal of SMD, and then your long-range goal of GVP. Did you have a question, Kyle?
No, I was just laughing about the AAA guy. In England, by the way, AAA guy is the guy that comes by and fixes your tire for you if you have a membership with them.
Yeah. Hey, when the AAA guy comes by, that's when you switch to cold market recruiting. Okay, so that's what you first want to do. You want to put that list together, and sometimes people discriminate. They say, he wouldn't do it, she wouldn't do it. I'm going to tell you an interesting story, so don't let me forget, Kyle. If I forget, remind me. I have an interesting story about someone that didn't want to talk to someone. So on that list, you have what I call 3 categories, A, B, and C. You have the individuals that once you present what you have to offer, they're going to be really excited about it. They're going to join your business. You have the individuals that are the Bs that are going to like what you have to offer, not necessarily for them to join, but possibly to shop on your site. And then you have C. This is the person that's not interested in shopping or being a part of your business, but guess what? They know other people, and so they can refer people that can also become part of your business through the shopping aspect or the business side or both. And so you never want to discriminate against anyone. You want to put that list together, and then you want to start to invite. Okay, so the invitation process.
But can I add something there real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the list is really overlooked, and maybe people have been in businesses before saying, well, make a list. Well, guys, think about this. If you start any company, any business, and many times people have never been an entrepreneur. They don't know what that looks like or feels like. They've gone and worked for someone else pretty much their whole life. So for them to think outside the box and think of something different, think of actually creating a profit versus a wage, it's sometimes different. So this is a part of if you're new to this type of space of being an entrepreneur, that it's time to start shifting your thinking, having old ideas and shifting them to new ideas. And really, this is what one of my mentors talked about, is the wealthy build networks, everyone else looks for work. So whether this is for somebody or not, it really doesn't matter. It's the fact that you have an opportunity to let people know, number one, it exists. And number two, I believe an opportunity of a lifetime. I have a belief there. So I would do you a disservice by not at least letting you know it exists. So I think a lot of times people have such a reservation of making the list of the people that they know to share the information with because of OPO, other people's opinions. They're more scared about other people's thinking of who they are, what they are, than actually succeeding in life. And it blows me away. But honestly, it doesn't blow me away because I used to be like that. I used to be the guy that was reserved. What is he going to think about me if I tell him about this e-commerce thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so caught up in those types of thinking that that reservation hurt me. So as soon as I got myself out of my own way, as soon as I stopped making those limiting beliefs, that's when success started occurring to me in my business. So I think that was just an important factor that I think people need to start thinking outside the box, and they start getting out of their own way, stop living in their fear, and start realizing that they have opportunity to help other people win.
Exactly. You know what? Like you said on the last call, you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. That's 100% true. And so utilize us whenever you can. You know, a three-way call is perfect in trying to talk to someone that you want to talk with that you may not have the pull. You know, in these type of businesses, sometimes you may be a 5 or a 6 and you're trying to get somebody that's a 9 or a 10. Use someone else that's already a 9 or 10 to get that 9 or 10 for you. You know, when I invite, and I'm going to stick to me because I wasn't always as good as I am, you know, but over time I learned how to get better and better through mentors and reading and practicing a lot of different things. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not that big of a deal. Go out there and do it. The only thing you got to remember is try not to be stiff. Try to come up with a few lines that you can say to someone to pique their interest, to get their information and send them some information. That starts the ball rolling. You know, the inviting process, that's the easy part. You know, it's the actually getting the person from the invitation to actually becoming a paid team member. That's the process. But it starts with that invitation. You know, there's 5 steps basically in my invitation, in my process. The first step is invitation, and then the second step is a call, whether it's a 3-way call with them or one-on-one call or whatever the case may be. And then there's follow-up, and then there's a video that I'll send them, and then there's a live overview either in my office, at Starbucks, in a home, at a go party, or with VIP Global on Thursday evening. The more exposures you can get them in front of, the more easier it will be to get that person on with you. And so invitation, don't let that hinder you. Don't let it stumble you. Get something that will be really simple for you to do. You know, like I said, it took me a while. I mean, I used to say, walk up to people in the mall and ask them if they're open to the idea of doing better financially. That was back in the old days. It still works though. And, you know, it all depends on what I'm seeing when I'm walking towards a person. If a person looks really sharp, I'm going to say, hey, you look really sharp. My company is expanding into the United States, and we're looking for sharp people. I can get you possibly a phone call with Mr. Kyle McGregor, one of our executives with the company. Do you mind if I share my contact information with you? Oh, sure. They got to give me their information to give them for me to give them my information. So it's as simple as that. You want to learn how you can spend 1 minute each with 100 people versus 100 minutes with one person. And that's probably the most difficult part for new people. New people are so excited, they end up fire hosing the people that they talk to. They're just telling them so much, everything, and it never gets to the point where they can make that invitation successfully, because if you give out all the information, there's no room for a presentation. They're going to make a decision right there that, hey, I don't know you from Adam, you look crazy, and you're hitting me with all this stuff, I don't like it, no. So you got to slowly get them into this. Like they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You got to spoon feed or baby feed people to get them to where you want them to go. I know we want them to all, if we could just go out and talk to 1,000 people at one event and they all sign up, that would be the greatest thing in the world. But it takes work, folks. And the reason it takes work is because everyone's not willing to do it. For great experiences and great pay and great income and a great lifestyle, it's not going to be easy. It's simple. It's not hard, but it's very simple if you follow the system that's put in place. The system's already been proven, predictable, and profitable, so all we have to do is follow it. So invitation, don't get caught up on that. Make it something simple, okay? We have an invitation for your friends, which we'll talk about more on Wednesday, but it could be something as simple as, hey, I'm checking out something, not too sure, how this is going to work, but it sounds like something great. I'd like to have a second pair of eyes and ears with me. Do you mind showing up with me? Or do you mind being on this call with me? They say yes, and now you got someone with you to check it out, even though you've already checked it out and you know you're in. They don't have to know that. You don't have to tell everyone everything. Leave a little suspense for the people that you're trying to get. Did you have something to say, Kyle?
Well, yeah, that curiosity is your key, If you can pique curiosity, if you can get people wanting to know information, see, your job isn't to be the salesman. Your job isn't to be the guy that says the info. And this is kind of the backwards side of things that people don't understand. Because usually we've been taught in traditional, business that if you are in sales that you have to be the end-all convincer. I got to convince you that you have to have what I have, you need what I have, But
right.
It's completely opposite. The less you say, the more money you can make. You want to say less to more people and just say just enough to get them to have their curiosity piqued to where they'll be open to looking. And that's our whole objective here, is to let people know what you have, that it exists, that's something positive, that is something that can be a benefit not just to them but other people that they know. And you do that just through a few simple phrases. And again, it's just passing the baton. You become what's called an information deliverer, right? You're kind of like you're like the mailman, just a connector. You're connecting people with the information. Either bring them to the information or bring the information to them. Either way, we just want to have them take a look at it objectively in a common sense mentality and let them see it for what it is with open pair of eyes and an open mindset. And that being said, it's very simple for people to really start to see the benefits of what we're doing. And since we're at the beginning stages of it, not everyone will see it, which is fine. And that's another thing we'll chat about probably Wednesday, is talking about that this is also a numbers game. Not everyone's going to see it at the beginning. Yeah, it takes vision to see something before the masses do, but it takes courage to take action, right? Not everyone will see it at the beginning. Not everyone will take action, which is fine. We're looking for those who are looking. So back to you, Anthony.
Okay. I want to make sure that people understand on this call that, we're trying to help you. And so, I said earlier when I started, you don't want to seem stiff and scripted. Because your friends know you. They are familiar with the way that you talk and move and all those things. If you now are coming around, suited and booted, tight and looking like a salesperson and talking in a different language that they're not used to you talking in, automatically the walls go up. They stop listening because now what is he trying to sell me? What is she trying to sell me? She's trying to get me, he's trying to get me to do something. So make sure you're still as fluent as you are now being their friend as you are being a business owner or being a part of TPS. It's hard to do because we, in the beginning, want everyone to join. We want everyone to be excited. But what you really have to do is you have to detach yourself from the results and say to yourself, whether this person gets in or not, it's not my concern. I know it's a numbers game. I'm going to give them enough information to possibly get them invited to speak with my support leader or get to a meeting where they can hear the information on their own. Because if I try to do it myself, I'm going to mess it up. That's the thought you have to have. Be yourself, be passionate, all those things. And over time, you'll grow into a certain posture and a certain backbone where you will actually be able to talk to your people about it yourself. Like at this point, I really don't need help when I talk to the people that are in my circle. But if I do, I know where I can go. I can always go to Kyle. I can always go to Gary or any other Fantastic Four members or Richard Ramos. And so just having access to that support is wonderful. Before I forget, because it's getting late and I don't want to have people on any longer than we have to, I do want to tell this story about one of my guys. He sells, some of you probably know him. He sells Mercedes-Benz up in Laguna Niguel. That's a really high-priced area here in Southern California. And so he had a guy that he wanted to talk to, but he didn't talk to, and it's been some time now. And he didn't want to talk to this gentleman because this gentleman is a business owner. The gentleman used to be his daughter's principal at a school. He left that, got into business, became successful. He's bought 3 Mercedes from my guy over the past number of years. And so my guy didn't want to talk to this guy. So I said, I'll call him Mr. C. Mr. C, you got to let everyone know, because sooner or later this guy might hear from somebody else, becomes part of somebody else's team, blow up, and then now all of a sudden you see him and he's GVP and he could have been on your team. So he said, okay, how do I do it without him, knowing? I said, give me the name and number, and I'll do it in a way where I will not even mention your name. And so the guy's in a business similar to my business, so I just reached out to him and said, hey, Mr. Randolph, my name is Anthony LeBlanc. I know you're in the same business, and I'm talking to other individuals in this business to help them to have a more consistent income payout and maybe 2 or 3 times the income that they're currently making. If you're interested in just talking to me for a few minutes, here's my number. I sent my contact information. He called me back. He said, how did you get my information? I said, well, this information is public, and I don't know if you guys know, but real estate, mortgages, you can get that information just about anywhere if you go to the right spot. So anyway, long story short, we talked. He liked what I had to say. We met up on Friday and at a restaurant. He took care of the tab and everything. He came in really sharp, and this is what I told my team. I said, if you really know your stuff, it doesn't really matter how you dress. I said, when I didn't know my stuff, I'm coming in suited and booted too, because there's got to be a balance. But now that I know my stuff, it was Friday. I didn't feel like being suited and booted. Jeans, tennis shoes, and a nice dress type shirt. So when he came in, I could see he was looking at me funny, but I said, okay, yeah, have a seat. We sat down, talked. By the end of the conversation, not only is he coming in at diamond level, he's got 8 people from his team that are going to be coming in at bronze or higher, and then he's got 32 more people on his team that will be coming in free. So I called Mr. C back. I said, listen, you almost missed your blessing, because this guy is a winner. He's coming in with the idea of being at the top in a very short period of time, and he's bringing in a team with him. And so that all started like I said, with me encouraging Mr. C to give me some of his top people to talk to instead of waiting for himself to get to a position where he thought he may be able to talk to him. Anything you need to say in there, Kyle?
Brother, that is absolutely inspirational. You're absolutely correct. I mean, a lot of times, again, like we were chatting about earlier, a lot of times we're fearful or we're not sure or we're hesitant. And I've had people before, just like you said, people that I've wanted to talk to, we call that the chicken list, right?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I've had many people on my chicken list throughout the years. And once I started getting over the fact that, hey, look, they're just people. And those are the people I really want to have in my team. And you don't screw it up. It's just about, hey, look, getting yourself out of the way and letting them see it for what it is. And that's the whole point of having to learn the simple little learning curve of how to communicate with people efficiently. And just like Mr. LeBlanc did, again, the reason we help bring people on is not only to help them succeed and win, but how do you help them succeed and win? Is to get to their warm market, is to get to the people that they know. To help them succeed is by helping get into their network. And so you have an endless amount of people you can actually communicate with and talk to and build with if you learn to taproot, if you learn to work with other people's people, just like Anthony talked about. And Anthony's done a great job in learning how to communicate with people very simplistically and helping get themselves out of the way so they can see it for what it is. So great job, Anthony. You did a phenomenal job. I love that story. Oh, by the way, if you don't talk to people, other people will. And so
Exactly.
I've had people literally lose out. This is my friend for 15 years. He's on someone else's team. I'm like, well, you snooze, you lose.
Exactly.
And the type of growth that we're having, it's going to happen with or without us. So might as well share it with as many people as you can at the beginning.
Exactly. Hey, I could go on and on, but I don't want to hold people. It's their Sunday. We're 40 minutes in. I do want to also say this. When it comes to invitation, and if you're having a hard time and you're going to get a three-way call with your support leader, you want to edify that leader. You don't want to just say, hey, I got this guy that he'll do a better job at talking to you about this thing because I'm brand new, because that does not set the proper tone for what we're trying to do. Even though I know Kyle on a first name basis, if I'm getting someone on the phone with Kyle that I'm wanting him to have to help me to bring into the business, it's a whole different conversation. I'm talking to that gentleman first, and I'm saying, hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. McGregor is very busy. His time is very valuable. You heard that, Mr. McGregor. I didn't say Kyle. Mr. McGregor's time is very valuable. He's very busy. I want to see if I can get him on the line because he's what is called an EMD with our company. And that just means he simply helped a lot of people. And I would basically like for him to help us. And then I get Kyle on the phone, and I'm going to do the formal introduction. Hey, how you doing, Mr. McGregor? This is John. John, this is Mr. McGregor. And now it's a more respect type of a conversation from my prospect. He's like, okay, Mr. McGregor's helped some people, and they're successful, and I'm trying to be successful. I'm trying to make money. What can this gentleman help me with? And that just sets the tone for that conversation, for the invite. And you'll probably have a better ratio of people showing up for meetings and home meetings and office meetings and large meetings and Starbucks meetings when you do it that way, if you're not in position at this time to do it yourself.
Well, Anthony, you have broken this thing down so eloquently and so well. I'm really, really excited for our Wednesday training. By the way, if you guys have not yet registered, feel free to do so today. Go to VIPglobaltraining.com, and there you can register for the next up-and-coming training that we're having. And we'll be talking in more detail and get more information on how you can do. One of the most important things is how to become a professional inviter, your first initial contact, helping people see the opportunity for what it is. So that being said, do you want to say anything else before we close things out?
Hey, I just want to thank you again for allowing me to do my part in this great organization. I just feel humbled and blessed to be a part of what's going on, and I know that we all are going to get to the top and get over the top, and those that stick around and just follow simple instructions will have the same opportunity to do what we're doing right now. And I just Wish everyone a great week, a productive week, and I thank you for being on this call, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friends. Now, just real quick, there is a list of different events that we have throughout the week, and I just encourage people to plug in as much as you can, and treat this as much of a business as you can. But again, I suggest people getting at least on the Sunday afternoon call, at least one training a week and at least one business overview a week. And that's really only 3 hours of your time if you really look at it. And again, you can work full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune, but just staying consistent and persistent with your actions and staying engaged is your key. So you can actually see all the different events that we're having with VIP Global at facebook.com/VIP Global Network. Again, that's facebook.com/VIP Global Network. And you'll see all the different events and where to pre-register for those. The next one that we have, which I'd highly suggest jumping on, we got Mr. Richard Ramos and Mr. Gary Regier, the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Sales, and the GM of North America that we get to learn and hear from tomorrow. And that'll be Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to tpswebinar.com, tpswebinar.com, and you can pre-register for that tonight, be able to be there tomorrow. So that being said, thank you so much for being on this call this afternoon and this evening where you are in the world, Mr. Steve Hill and some of the other people in the UK that are tapping into what we're doing. And so very fortunate to be working here together and really have a team, a unified structure. Opportunities come and go. What doesn't come and go is the relationships you build with people. It's the organization that you create, the foundation that you create with a team, with an organization, with a family, of a culture that we're going to be able to really have an opportunity no matter what. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we'll always be here together as a family, as a team, as an organization, and the team that stays together gets paid together. So that being said, God bless. Make it a great afternoon, great evening, and we'll see you on the call, the webinar tomorrow evening. Good night.